Hi, I'm Terrence Bird. At Health First New Jersey, we believe everyone should be informed about the important healthcare issues that affect them and their families. That's why Health First is proud to support programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation.
Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Johnson & Johnson, Health First New Jersey, TD Bank, the Russell Berry Foundation, and by Community Education Centers.
This is One-on-One.
That's good acting, yeah.
I get that a lot. I go to Atlantic City all the time, like, are you the guy? I go, no, I'm not.
This is one you can't afford to miss.
They thought that I wouldn't survive it, but I knew I would.
Hey folks, everything you ever wanted to know about arts education, you're about to find out right now. The guest we have in the studio is Alex Diaz, Director of Education and Outreach at Bergen Performing Arts Center. Good to see you, Alex.
Good to see you, Steve.
You were introduced to us by our good friend, Angelica Berry.
Great friend, yeah.
Big supporter of the Bergen Performing Arts Center. Hey, what is arts education, and then transition into this initiative called beyondEDUCATION? Go.
Arts education is training in all different forms of the arts, any type of concentration, dance, acting, musical theater, music theory, and we start them as early as 0 years old. So
How does that work?
We start them at like 2 months old. We have a Music Speaks program, which we've recorded a CD that we give to the parents. It's a Mommy and Me program. So we start them that early. Right. And they learn inherently through this CD, they start learning the music. And then the parents take the CD with them, put it in the car. So they're listening to this. And the CD's kind of rocky. It's fun so that the parents don't get bored over it. And then the kids, they come back into the class, they have little bongos, they have egg shakers, and they start doing a routine. It's 45-minute classes, and we offer about 12 of those every week.
But did you start this from scratch?
From pretty much scratch.
Well, from your head, you said, hey,
well,
listen,
no,
this is what we need, or what?
Yeah, well, there was a I came on about 1.5 years ago, and
Right.
the only thing that existed was our Beyond Dance School, which is
Right.
a huge resident school, a
Big
dance
success.
company. Very, very successful school, and that's under the artistic director, Roberta Mathis.
That's right.
And she's been there for ages in Englewood.
Because we should make it clear. By the way, put up the Bergen PAC website if we could, team, because the Bergen PAC has a great history.
Yeah.
As we're talking about it. So make the transition. Go ahead.
So they started as John Harms, and
Right.
then the John Harms went under. Group of people came together and said, we're going to bring
save
this back
this. It's
together.
too great.
And the Berry Foundation came on board with that as well. So we've named the big theater after the Russell Berry Foundation. So it's the Russell Berry Hall there at Bergen PAC. We raised money. They did everything. They brought it to life. Brought the dance school over. That was the only education portion that they had. 1.5 years ago, they hired me. And then they said, here, we want this. Can we
want this.
Can we try it?
And what was this?
There was a void of arts education in not only Englewood, but in Bergen County. So they wanted to start doing school partnerships.
Right.
They wanted to start bringing in acting classes. They wanted to start bringing in this type of program, the Music Speaks program. We started a recording program with the Bennett Studios.
Yeah, talk about, because
Bennett
Angelica
Studios.
always talks about the Tony Bennett Studios.
Yeah.
Make that come alive for us. What is it?
The Bennett Studios, which no longer is actually in existence.
Right.
Tony's son, went on tour with
Right.
Tony, and they did the recording of the duet CD, and we have fiber optic links that go from our theater to that studio, and which are still existent because the building is still there. And we've recorded over 6 Grammy award-winning albums on our stage live through the Bennett Studio. So that's kind of the partnership that we had with them. So Day was like, well, let's try something where we have kids who want to learn sound engineering, and let's scholarship them in, and then we'll teach them hands-on with me, with Day. And so let's do it. So I was like, okay, great. So I went over to one of our partner schools, and I was like, can you guys, do you want a scholarship? Bergen PAC and the school will go half in, and we'll scholarship 3 or 4 students to do this program. We had 4 students that came, did the program, and it was 6 weeks on Sundays from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and these kids were recording live CDs with actually a live band in the studio. So just learning the tricks of the trade.
What was it like?
And it was great.
What did you see in these kids?
Just the improvement in technology with them, their audio sense, just to be able to pick up, and from not knowing anything, and starting from scratch to now being able to sit down on their GarageBand or sit down on their Pro Tools and say, okay, I can mix this, or do things in their schools. So they're bringing this knowledge back to their schools. They can sit down and their graphics art department and start recording a CD, do things, package it, and then sell it.
Amazing stuff, because the Beyond Education initiative, dance, music, theater, and stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's interesting. You said that some kids feel like, you know, it makes them feel really special. Mm-hmm. You know, what it does for them is just so powerful. You said there's an anti-bullying component to this. Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
You know, there's huge anti-bullying awareness going on right now.
In fact, Assemblywoman Valerie Huddle from up in Bergen County is one of the leaders of that initiative, and also tied to, but through Frank.
Very, very, very tied
Frank
to
Hudson, very tied to the Bergen Pack. So go ahead.
Absolutely. Both of them founders of
That's
the Bergen Pack.
So make that anti-bullying connection. It's interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Well, as part of our school partnerships, which were also created last year, we brought on board school number 5 in Paterson.
Right.
And they had an incident in their school where a first grader was bullying another first grader to the point where he brought in a weapon to the school. And the school called as part of our partnership and said, we really need an assembly program, not to rectify this situation or anything, but just to shine light on anti-bullying. So we brought in this, it was called Virtually Me, and it was all about cyberbullying.
Virtually Me.
Virtually Me. It was all about cyberbullying. Facebook, internet bullying, any type of social media bullying that was going on. And these kids were so responsive to it that to this day, the teachers will still call and say they reference not bullying because of this show.
But how's that arts education? Devil's advocate.
Because it's providing, they're seeing the performers on stage. It was an assembly program brought to their school on their stage. So they're seeing the performers perform this. And that's how they tie into it. And then we send them study guides on it as well to just try to tie everything
Powerful. Talk about Music Speaks.
Music Speaks, again, 0 to 4.5 years old, Mommy and Me program, created last June.
Is that what we're looking at right now?
Yeah. So we have, that's one of our little bongos, and he just, well, not the bongo, but the child really enjoys it. The beautiful thing about it is that it's so culturally diverse. So we have,
which Bergen is, by the way.
Bergen County is really, really culturally diverse. So to have a type of program that can bring all of these families together, and then now they're having coffee with each other at Starbucks, or they're going out for dinner, for whatever, and they're communicating with each other. And it'll be a Korean family, it'll be a Chinese family, it'll be an African American family, a Cuban family, an American family, and they're all there.
A Jewish family.
Anybody.
Why are you so into this? What's your background that you're so pumped up about this?
I started out when I was like 13 years old as a singer. Not as a singer. That's when I started doing performing arts.
Right.
I got detention in high school, and my music teacher, who now dear friend, she says instead of serving the detention, audition for the spring musical. And at the time we were doing How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying.
Right.
And I didn't even know what that meant at all. So I said, sure, it'll get me out of detention quicker. I auditioned. She gave me Part of Your World from Little Mermaid. I was in 8th grade. At the time, the 8th grade was in the high school.
Right.
And my voice was extremely high-pitched. And so I got cast in the show. And from then on, I just kept going with singing and performing. And then I got a real love into producing and directing. So I went to the University of the Arts in Philadelphia, and I studied theater management and directing. And then after I graduated, I moved back home. And Bergen Pack, I started directing musicals at my former high school. And Bergen Pack's executive director at the time came to see the musical and said, hey, we have a void with arts education. Is this something that would interest you? I said, yeah.
This is a perfect job for you.
I love it. I love it.
I got 30 seconds left. Most exciting things happening in the future for Bergen Pack?
Growth. All the programs are growing. So right now we're at the baby stages. Literally, we're at the baby stages with every single program, and everything we keep seeing is just growth and growth and growth. More schools are being added, more kids are registering for classes. We're reaching to more of the community. We're reaching outside of Bergen County. We're going into Essex County, Hudson County.
Yep.
We were trying to be the best program in the state.
Well, we're looking forward to being your partner. We're looking forward to doing some shooting up there, being involved more and more in arts education, and we want to thank our friend and patron, if you will, Angelica Berry and the Berry Foundation for bringing us together. Alex Diaz, Director of Education and Outreach at the great Bergen Performing Arts Center. Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, Steve.
Good job. Your problem is you got to be a little more excited about your job. Only kidding, man. One-on-one will continue right after this. Stay with us. That was great.
Cool. Thanks.
If you would like more information on this program, or if you'd like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org and visit us online at oneonone.org.
At some point in my
There
day.
she is, the beautiful and smiling face of Phyllis DelGreco, co-author of the book, The Jessie Books. Actually, more than one book, right? The Jessie Books.
It's a 7-book series, yes.
Now, Jessie is 5 years old.
She's 5 years old. We like to say 4 3/4.
Two moms?
2 moms, absolutely.
A family, but not the so-called traditional family?
Not the traditional family, no.
But a terrific kid.
She's a great kid.
What's the story behind these books?
About 5 or 6 years ago, one of my co-authors, Jacqueline Roth, had a little girl, Jessie, her and her partner. And when she went out looking for books, and when her parents went out looking for books, they could not find stories about a child with 2 parents that weren't really focused on the same-sex couple and focused on the child. So Jackie, who has a background in literature, said, let's write our own books. And I jumped right on that. We brought my sister, Catherine Silverio, into the project, and we started writing these books in the winter. Sunday mornings, I got to become 5 years old. And before you knew it, we had at least 7 manuscripts.
What's the premise?
Together.
Jackie goes through her life. She has 2 moms, and she faces some interesting situations as she interacts with other kids, right?
Yeah. Each of the books has a lesson in it, but subtle messages. We think that we can influence behavior by just showing a child who is caring and giving and patient and kind, and she overcomes fears. And so each of the books has a theme like that. The Monday book is all about...
Guys, Monday with Maxim, as we're talking about it. It's a cute kid, by the way.
Yeah, she's great.
Take a shot. Go ahead, keep
the
talking.
illustrations are awesome.
Who did the illustrations?
Rory Smith, outstanding. Young talent out of Princeton, New Jersey, local fellow. And we found him when my niece was attending Princeton and just picked him up.
Talk about Monday. What's the message there? Monday with Maxim.
The message in Monday with Maxim is all about patience. She's trying to teach the neighbor's dog how to sit, and he's being a little uncooperative. So it's about patience, it's about teaching, her teaching, and it's about learning. She's also learning in this book not to give up, to persevere, and if at first you don't succeed, try again.
What the heck does that have to do with having 2 moms?
Nothing.
But I thought the larger question was about teaching kids about discrimination and being, I hate the word tolerant. I never get the word tolerant. You have to be tolerant of people's situations. I'm thinking, tolerant, at first it's none of your business.
Acceptance and tolerance, right?
Yeah, I never get that.
Yeah.
But where is the message about seriously, about the 2 moms?
The 2 moms are not the driving force behind the books. The idea was to have children identify with a character, and then as the character may have something in their life that's a little bit different than what, let's just say, a traditional child being reared in a traditional family would experience, they wouldn't judge it harshly. It wouldn't be, oh my God, she has 2 moms, something's wrong, and this is a bad situation. It's just, we have so many heterosexual couples who have bought the books, and we've gotten notes.
They?
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Because?
Because they're great stories, and their kids love them.
But can they get past it? First of all, here's the thing. So then you got Tuesday with Mommy. Mm-hmm. It doesn't say Tuesday with my 2 mommies.
No,
okay.
She doesn't spend Tuesday with her 2 moms. She spends the day on Tuesday with her mom.
Okay, but here's the thing. A mom in as you call it, more traditional family, picks up the book. She gets the book. Typical mom, whatever the heck that means. She gets the book, and at some point, does she find out that there's another mom? At
the back end of the story.
Have you gotten any pushback where someone says, hey, wait a minute, there are 2 moms in this story? You get any of that?
Not yet, no. I think
wow, we've evolved more than I thought.
Well, in the New York metropolitan area, which is predominantly
here, huh?
where our sales are coming out of right now, we've not had that experience. In fact, we've gotten email notes from parents. A dad in one particular case sticks out in my head because his son had him read the Tuesday book 3 or 4 times before bedtime. And he said, I can't believe how my son is so attached. He's never been attached to a book like this before. And so I think the stories, the stories are really about optimism, evolution, and relationships. We're forward thinking in that I hope someday we're standing in a place where this really doesn't matter. Our books currently are standing there. Sometimes you have to pull the rest of society forward to get them there. So it is about evolution. It's also, interestingly enough, the optimism, evolution, and relationship is kind of the experience that we had as co-authors in bringing the books together with our relationship between the 3 of us.
Question. As you write these books, as the books are well received by all different audiences, traditional and so-called non-traditional, do you care that much about the same-sex marriage issue?
No, I had a feeling this would come up.
Well, no kidding. No kidding. Do you care that much about it?
Do I care that much about it?
Is it a priority?
It should be. It should be. I myself don't know if I would get married. I am in a committed relationship with my partner, Donna, for many years now. Whether I would actually marry, I don't know. I don't know if I was straight, if I would ever get married to a man. Marriage for me is different, but that's personal. That's my personal choice.
I don't mean it that way. Do you believe this is, in the context of writing these books, which clearly there's a component of trying to educate and inform and inspire, is there a part of you that says, hey, we should write one of these books that at some point that this beautiful little girl attends the marriage
of her parents?
Of her 2 moms?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that would be great.
A priority?
Eventually, we have to finish illustrating the next 7, and as soon as we do that, I think it should be. I think that the whole issue of gay marriage is creating a second class or a subclass of citizens. And that's really what the Jessie Books is countering against. I practiced employment law for a while early on in my legal career. And what I found so interesting about it was we spent all this time categorizing and identifying and classifying groups of people for the purpose of not discriminating against them. If we all just assimilated and realize within the human experience, we are aligned. We're all going through the human experience together. Whether you're gay or straight or disabled or black or white, it doesn't matter. And that's really what these books are about. Jessie has a beautiful family. She has 2 beautiful moms. She has grandparents who adore her. She has aunts and uncles who love her, neighbors who don't look twice at her or her moms. It's all about the human experience.
Well said.
Thank you.
Do you ever notice how people who are Italian American with vowels in their names are incredibly articulate? You ever notice that?
Yes, I agree. Absolutely.
I knew we agreed on that too. Phyllis DelGreco, co-author of the series, the Jessie Books. I want to thank you so much for joining us. Wish you nothing but success for you and your family.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Thanks.
I really appreciate it.
All the best.
Thank you.
Stay with us. One-on-one will continue right after this. Great job.
If you would like more information on this program, or if you'd like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org and visit us online at oneonone.org.
The beautiful smiling face of Leah Dade.
Oh, thank you.
Executive Director, Paterson Alliance. How you doing?
I'm great, thank you. It's a great morning.
It sure is. In Paterson, where we tape.
In Paterson, right here in Paterson, the 3rd largest city in the state of New Jersey.
Look at you, ready to plug already. Tell us what the Paterson Alliance is. It's special.
Well, we're real excited. The Paterson Alliance is a membership of and collaborative of all the nonprofits that service the city of Paterson. And that could range from nonprofits that are in Paterson as well as nonprofits that are county-wide. And the exciting thing about the organization is that our members consist of some of the smallest of our faith-based organizations to our largest institutions, including William Patt and St. Joe's and Passaic County Community College.
We're actually taping right here at St. Joe's.
St. Joe's is one of our critical partners. We love working with them. And basically, we brought together the nonprofit sector to break down barriers of competition and figure out how they can work together.
Now, we're doing this program in early, mid-March. You have a big event coming up. Plug it real quick.
Yes, we have the Extra Mile Awards taking place on May 10th.
Extra Mile.
Extra Mile. This is where our members come together to recognize those individuals and their organizations who have always gone the extra mile who are the unsung heroes that people just don't know are behind the scenes really making it happen. And in addition, we are recognizing 2 community leaders this year, Vaughn McCoy, the past president of PSE&G Foundation and current state regulatory general counsel, and his wife of PSE&G, and his wife, who is the CEO, and Marnie McCoy, CEO of the Community School of Paterson.
They do a great job.
They really do.
Vaughn has taught us so much about Paterson as well. You know, what's interesting to me is the Paterson Kids Count report you're doing in cooperation with the Advocates for Children of New Jersey, one of our not-for-profit partners. This is a Kids Count report that really looks at the state of children in the city of Paterson. Let's look at reading proficiency, children's eating, nutritional, if you will, breakfast, and also uninsured children. First, reading proficiency in the city of Paterson for our kids. Go.
Well, currently what we found out through the Kids Count, which is a statistical analysis that identifies a variety of the indicators that are taking place in children and family across the state of New Jersey. Advocates for Children also does this report countywide, and we partner with them for them to take a very specific look at the city of Paterson.
Never been done before.
Never been done before. This is the first Kids Count in the history of Paterson, and it is our goal to continue this process and use it as really a mapping to determine a roadmap for our nonprofit sector, our funding sector, and our municipality to really follow, to identify key issues and then work towards resolving those issues.
We need to get that baseline information.
Yes, we do. And this has given us some very stark reality baseline, particularly as it relates to educational proficiency. On an average, Paterson children are averaging anywhere between 24 and 30% behind in academic achievement between their counterparts in the remainder of the state. And that's something that we really have to work towards. And so what the Alliance has done is that we have built collaborative partners across sectors to come together and say, this is a problem that one organization cannot solve. But if we collaborate, work together, and leverage each other's resources, we will be able to solve that problem.
Let's talk about children's nutrition, particularly around breakfast.
Well, you know, interesting. Food insecurity is a major issue in Paterson, and there have been initiatives done to look at the issue of food insecurity. The Paterson Kids Count focused on food insecurity, where we actually identified the quantity of food that was being distributed during our, in a variety of different food pantries. But one of the major areas that we understand that we can have an impact on food insecurity is ensuring that every child has a decent breakfast in the morning at school.
How do you do that?
Well, you know, there are a lot of innovative methods, and unfortunately, as a state, we haven't done very well with this process. Currently, the state of New Jersey is 46th in the nation in serving school breakfast, and Paterson is far behind. We only serve 27% of the eligible children school breakfast every day.
Hold on, let me get this straight. Of the children who are eligible to receive that breakfast, about a quarter get it?
A quarter actually take
Why?
breakfast. Well, there are a lot of barriers to getting children to school at the time period that breakfast is served. I don't know how difficult it was, but for me as a single parent, getting my daughter up and out of the house and to have breakfast before 8 o'clock or 8:15 in some cases is a challenge. So we are investigating and working on a national initiative that has been taken on nationally to improve school breakfast results, and that is really what we're calling breakfast after the bell.
Breakfast after the bell.
After the bell. Breakfast will be served in the classroom, and there are some very interesting statistics that support breakfast being served in the classroom. Children become more attentive, they become more engaged, less trips to the nurse with the phantom headache and stomach ache.
Oh, believe me, we've seen it in our house.
And so we are working with the school district, who is a wonderful partner in this effort, to begin a pilot sometime in May. 5 schools that have been selected where we will serve breakfast in the classroom in the morning.
Now, the other area that the Kids Count Initiative, by the way, we're talking to Leah Dade, who is the executive director of Paterson, the Paterson Alliance, which is a consortium founded in 1998.
Yes.
5 nonprofits. They have a total of 70.
Yes, we're actually up to 75 now.
See, updating all the time. They're doing this for the first time, the Paterson Kids Count Initiative, in cooperation with the Advocates for Children of New Jersey. They've been producing this wonderful Kids Count Initiative throughout the state, looking at the state of children, where they are, particularly in our most vulnerable areas. So Paterson's doing it for the first time, and one of the areas we're looking at is the number of children who are uninsured. Go.
Well, you know, that was an interesting result to find out as well, particularly since the state of New Jersey has done a yeoman's job in identifying ways to ensure that children are becoming insured in our state. Currently, we have our Medicaid authorized HMOs, and we have 4 of them in the state, and they are authorized to accept uninsured children. Well, across the state, we've seen improvement in the area of uninsured children, and in in Paterson, we've seen an increase and a rise of 10% of children who are uninsured. So what is really exciting about this is that we have brought together those honestly competing partners when you look at it. We have Horizon New Jersey, we have Health First New Jersey, and United Healthcare have come together.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Health First New Jersey, they actually brought us to you.
Yes, they did. They have been a wonderful
Terry Bird
partner.
and those folks, and Aviva, they are competitors. That's interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
With Horizon, they came together. Why?
They came together. Why? Because reality is that what they want, more importantly, is healthy children, and that speaks volumes. Particularly in a time when sometimes people aren't as favorable to the insurance industry. But you know what? They have been wonderful partners. They have put aside the competition and work with us to collaborate to begin identifying what can we do to reach this 10%. First of all, who are they? What pockets do they sit in Paterson? Paterson is extremely diverse, and as a result, we have to begin to look at that level of cultural diversity to identify these children so that we can ensure that they are properly insured and ultimately healthy.
Before I let you out of here, the Paterson Alliance doing important work. The challenges are daunting, but I always see a smile on your face every time I see you. How much you love what you do, 20 seconds.
I really do love what I do. I believe that the nonprofit sector really is the key to urban mobilization. And I believe that so our urban communities go, so our nation goes. And so as a nonprofit sector and with the Paterson Alliance, we really work hard to strengthen the infrastructure of organizations so that they can be the backbone of our urban community.
Can we be part of the Alliance?
We would love to have you.
We got a deal.
Thank you so much.
Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Johnson & Johnson, Health First New Jersey, TD Bank, the Russell Berry Foundation, and by Community Education Centers. Promotional support provided by The Record, North Jersey's trusted source, and northjersey.com. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.
I'm Steve Adubato. Join me for the next edition of Caucus New Jersey, Taxes, Healthcare, Education, and the Economy. I'll ask the questions that you want answered.
Airing on NJTV, 13, and WHYY. Check your local listings.